हम यहाँ पे कनाडा में, कनाडा की 41 मिलियन पॉपुलेशन में भारतीय बैकग्राउंड के लोग 3 से 4 मिलियन के करीब होंगे। इतनी बड़ी तादाद है। और हम हिंदू यहाँ पे, अगर मैं बात करूँ भारतीय हिंदुओं की, पाकिस्तान के हिंदू हैं, अफ़गानिस्तान के हिंदू हैं, श्रीलंका के, नेपाल के, भूटान के, फिजी के, दुनिया भर से आए हुए हिंदू भी 1.5 मिलियन के करीब होंगे। बट वी ऑल आर फेसिंग टू मैनी चैलेंजेस। रेसिज्म, हिंदू फोबिया है, बहुत सारे इश्यूज़ हैं। आज हम आपके साथ हिंदी इंग्लिश में मिक्स बातचीत करेंगे इन्हीं चैलेंजेस पर, ताकि आप तक हमारा पैगाम पहुंचे। मेरे साथ स्टूडियो में जुड़े हुए हैं बहुत ही जानी पहचानी हस्ती, इंडो कैनेडियन, जो मेरी तरह कैनेडियन फर्स्ट हैं, इंडो बाद में हैं, जिनको ऑर्डर ऑफ कनाडा भी मिल चुका हुआ है। मैं उनका बहुत ही शुक्रगुजार हूँ, उन्होंने समय निकाला। मैं स्वागत करता हूँ आदित्य झा जी का।
ताहिर भाई, आप बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
हम बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं। मैंने बातचीत बिल्कुल डायरेक्ट शुरू की कि कनाडा की जस्ट इन अ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 41 मिलियन में इतना बड़ा नंबर है हमारा। अगर हम साउथ एशियन बैकग्राउंड के लोग तो 4 मिलियन क्रॉस कर जाते हैं। और अगर हम प्रिसाइजली अपने हिंदू डायस्पोरा की बात करें, वो भी 1.5 मिलियन के करीब है। लेकिन अपनी शराफत की वजह से हमें क्यों इतना कुछ सहना पड़ रहा है, यहाँ से बातचीत शुरू करता हूँ।
ये ताहिर भाई, ये हिंदुओं की जो समस्या है, द प्रॉब्लम वी हैव, इफ यू लुक एट इट इवन हिस्टोरिकली, व्हाई इट वाज दैट इन 1700 वी वर द रिचेस्ट country in the world with 25% of the GDP of the world was India, and Hindus that time also I think 30 करोड़ के करीब थे, 25-30 करोड़ लोग थे उस समय भी थे, largest country. But why, a question should be asked, that why such rich philosophical background, such rich culture, heritage, and but we were gulam for such a long period, almost 1000 साल के करीब रहा होगा। एंड उससे भी सबसे बड़ी आश्चर्य की बात यह है कि आई वॉज डूइंग सम रिसर्च ऑन ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी। जब शुरू में आए हैं वो सूरत में, तो कितने लोग आए थे? 500 से कम लोग आए थे। और जब पीक था उनका, देन दे वर अबाउट 125,000 इन टोटल। उसमें से सिर्फ 42,000 वर सिविलियंस हु वर कंट्रोलिंग इंडिया, एंड 85,000 पीपल वर द आर्मी पीपल। तो क्यों ऐसा हुआ है? और जिसका अभी भी जो अब हम लोगों ने जो who have done very well here in this country, we are so grateful to this country. This is one of the best country. I have lived in various countries. I don't have to go in this. But somebody asked me that what is so special about Canada? I said two things. One is the social calm in this country, which is being threatened now. All this fracas you see. One is the social calm. And second is the absence of a state. What do I mean by that? कि यहाँ आप वो डार्क ग्लासेस और एक मिनिस्टर चल रहा है, 25 लोग पुलिस वाले चल रहे हैं, वो सीन नहीं है। जब मैं शुरू में आया था, प्राइम मिनिस्टर कृतिया के किचन में कोई आदमी घुस गया था प्राइम मिनिस्टर के घर पे, और कितने मिनट लगे आरसीएमपी को उनके किचन में पहुँचने पे, एंड ही वॉज होल्डिंग दैट गाय विद द किचन नाइफ। सो we are in this country, and we thought our type of people, we exhibit the best of the values of this country. लेकिन क्या हो गया है कि ये जो यहाँ पे जो जिहादी नेक्सस है, खालिस्तानी एक्सट्रीमिस्ट नेक्सस है, and there is a geopolitical game here. Yeah. It looks like Khalistan is against Hindu, but if you go a little deeper, it has a geopolitical nexus. So there is a serious problem. As we will talk, we will discuss that.
बहुत आपने इम्पोर्टेंट बात की। आपने कहा कि ये एक सीरियस नेक्सस है और ये इतना सिंपल नहीं है इसको समझना भी और समझाना भी। लेकिन इशू ये है कि अभी जो रीसेंट वीक्स में या रीसेंट डेज में, स्पेशली इन द वेक ऑफ आवर दिवाली, हम देख रहे हैं कि जैसे हिंदुओं के ख़िलाफ़ इकोसिस्टम बिल्ट हो रहा है across all major political parties, not just in political parties, media, एकेडेमिया, यहाँ के थिंक टैंक, यहाँ की एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, यहाँ की पुलिस। अभी हमने देखा 2-3 दिन पहले एक पुलिस सार्जेंट जो है वो मंदिर पे हमला करने वालों के साथ शामिल है। उसको अगरचे सस्पेंड कर दिया पील पुलिस ने, मगर वो भी लगता है जैसे ऑप्टिक्स है। जस्ट नॉट वन मैन, देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल। अभी मतलब आप भी अलर्ट हो रहे हैं, मैं भी अलर्ट हो रहा हूँ, और भी कम्युनिटी के लोग अलर्ट हो रहे हैं। तो क्या जो 80s से हमारे हिंदुओं के खिलाफ एक एनवायरनमेंट बनी हुई थी, क्या अब हम जागना शुरू हुए हैं? आपको क्या फील हो रहा है?
नहीं, अब तो एक हद हो गया है, एंड द क्लाउड्स हैड स्टार्टेड गैदरिंग सिंस दैट डिसमेंटल ग्लोबल हिंदुत्व. I think there is a, globally if you look at it, Hinduism is a big threat because we have no boundaries. We are like मैं तो कंप्यूटर का आदमी हूँ, we are like an open architecture, and our architecture, our cultural thing, our way of living is like a plug and play. कोई भी विचारधारा आप लाएं, ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं, बाउंड्री है ही नहीं, एक किताब नहीं है, एक भगवान नहीं है, एक पद्धति नहीं है. एंड वी व्हेन जो हमारा स्ट्रेंथ रहा है, लेकिन उनको इससे खतरा है, बिकॉज सभी लोग सभी अदर रिलीजन्स, खास के इस्लाम को प्रॉब्लम है, राइट, दैट हाउ कैन दे एक्सेप्ट एनीथिंग बट देमसेल्फ. और दुनिया बात करती है अभी भी यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी, एंड वी टॉक अबाउट डाइवर्सिटी इन यूनिटी. A Hindu believes that we are all one, but from that oneness we have become different. And in fact, our Vedic mantras say that there is only one truth, but the scholars suggest different paths to reach there. So Hinduism had been a threat. And then you look at the progress of Hindu professionals in the Western world. It's peerless. There is no match. Even the native population that cannot match. You name a big multinational company. If Indian is not a CEO, at the tier 2 level there will be something, and definitely a tier 3 very, very important role. Even companies like Intel, if you just scratch the surface, guy like Vinod Dham, he developed the Pentium chip. So everywhere we are there. So there is somewhere that threat also against Hindus. The third problem with us is we are all individual islands. We think like, अरे ये बदमाश लोग हैं, ये अच्छे लोग नहीं हैं, हम अपना काम करते हैं, we will do our work.
ये हमारा सोचना है.
हाँ, this is what we should focus. Why we should get into this? So in Canada, primarily the problem has come that you have 500,000, 2,000 Khalistanis. It's not a big number.
Right.
Broadly, Sikhs they are Sikh brothers. The history, even with Khalistan, who has fought the most? The army general, he was a Sikh. KPS Gill was a Sikh. Because Sikhs' contribution in India, the making of India, on the Guru's shahadat.
Yes.
I think we should all be forever grateful to Sikh Gurus. They have given up their lives, their children's lives for us. But these miscreants have started creating a narrative. There is ISI cannot fight, the Pakistan army cannot fight India.
Yeah.
But I think ISI can fight raw. I have my reading is not that I have any data.
Yeah.
But the way they operate, raw and all we operate is still within some boundaries.
Proxies के जरिए.
No, boundaries मतलब funding का, all kinds of things. The mice approach, I don't think raw follows जो terminology है कि how do you bring people to your fold. So हमारी problem रही है कि हम लोग विजिबल नहीं है, वोकल नहीं है, एंड ऑर्गेनाइज प्लेटफॉर्म पर नहीं है. बट अभी एज आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू, वी हैव डिसाइडेड, वी हैव फॉर्म्ड अ ग्रुप कॉल्ड कोalition फॉर कैनेडा. इन दैट Hindus will propel it, but we are in the background. The foreground is Canada, the values of Canada, the Canadians. We don't want diaspora politics should decide the bilateral and geopolitical position of a country. The only thing which is influence the bilateral and geopolitical is the interest of the country,
Yes.
not of a pressure group. These tribal groups who have come there, some of them, ये इनकी दुकान है, इनका अपना दुकान है, ISI का money है, and I will not name, but there are countries in this world which want to prove that liberal democratic societies are not functional. They take gaslighting as total concept. They are using it by highlighting this weakness, that weakness. In Canada, we have a weakness. What business Canadian government has with Khalistan? Where is Khalistan? What is the problem Khalistanis have with the Hindus in Canada? We are nobody. They want land. They have to go and get it from India.
Right.
Fight in India. Don't fight with the Hindus in Canada. We are peace-loving, loving brothers and sisters. So why are you, the question nobody is asking, what is the problem Khalistanis have Hindus in Canada?
देखिए इशू यही है आदित्य भाई कि भारत में तो ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, जो खालिस्तानी एलिमेंट्स हैं वो तो सब यहाँ पे कनाडा में बैठे हुए हैं, और जो आपने नुक्ता उठाया कि भाई हम हिंदुओं के साथ क्यों मैस कर रहे हैं, हमारा क्या लेना देना। लेकिन अब भारत में ये कहा जा रहा है कि ये तो कैनेडियन खालिस्तानी हैं जो कनाडा में बैठे हुए हिंदू बहन भाइयों को प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। तो क्या हिंदू बहन भाई, जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं, अब वो भी कह रहे हैं कि हम भी अब हेल्पलेस हो गए, हम भी अब आपको रिएक्ट करेंगे, तो ये सिचुएशन कहाँ तक
तो
बढ़ेगी?
हम रिएक्ट करेंगे, हम यहाँ पे ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग नहीं करेंगे, हम यहाँ पे मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग नहीं करेंगे, हम यहाँ पे एक्सटॉर्शन नहीं करेंगे। अब हम कनेडियन आवाज़ जो कनाडा के पॉलिटिशियंस भूल गए हैं उसको हम उजागर करेंगे। और अब क्योंकि हमारी संख्या तो बहुत ज़्यादा है, वी आर ए लार्ज नंबर, सो वी हैव डिसाइडेड नाउ इन नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन वी आर गोइंग टू टारगेट दीज खालिस्तानी sympathizing MPs, that anybody but them, the jihadi politicians, anybody but them,
उनको वोट ना दे, किसी और को दे।
or we are not going to say that, oh, Indo-Canadian has to become member of parliament. If we find somebody very good, wonderful.
Yeah.
But we want those member of parliaments who have they have a spine and they really love this country.
Yes.
They should not allow the tribal conflicts to decide how Canada should be. We left a country, came to this country because we liked it. And here when I see in the Christmas time, people feel ashamed to say Merry Christmas. Why? You say Merry Christmas, I will say whatever I have today. We say thank you or all the best wishes, happy festivals to you.
Yeah.
But why are you giving up on what you have?
Yeah.
So long you don't force me to follow exactly what you want. I can in the closeness of my house, in my temples, I will practice things the way I want to. So Hindus, this time you will see Tahir Bhai, we are going to make a different, the storm is gathering. They are not seeing the undercurrent. Politicians do a very big mistake. And you have just seen yesterday, Donald Trump won.
Yes.
You know what? Because these elites, soil latte kind of people, they make a decision in the small campaign cabinet. Oh, if we touch India topic or a Hindu topic, we will lose Khalistani vote. What Khalistani vote? We are larger in number. And all three parties think they are going to have each of them, we are going to get all the votes from them. Khalistanis have one consistent approach. Tahir Bhai. They vote the winning person. Up to 2011, all were behind Harper Saab, Mr. Harper.
Right.
After 2011, Trudeau. Now, the wave is of Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah.
And they have already gathered around him, especially in the campaign committee.
Right.
And they are saying, hey, don't touch Hindus. You will not get the vote. So what is Jagmeet going to eat? Is he going to eat the vegetables? He needs Khalistani votes. The guy, if he was not in parliament, maybe he will be one of them doing Khalistani things, looks like.
Yeah.
Okay? What is Mr. Trudeau going to do? The guy has sacrificed the interest of this country for getting these votes. So how, I have not understood, maybe you have an answer, maybe somebody in this political circle can say, how Khalistanis have 3 votes and we have only 1 and we are larger. We are just not, we have not been making noise. That doesn't mean our vote is not there. We are there. We have been just choosing the right people. We are conservatives in mind and liberals. There is also the significant portion of people but liberals. But now you mind. Note it. We are just saying to these politicians, we are going to target chosen jihadis, Khalistanis, how to defeat them. And our message is so Canadians that if we are 500 somewhere, because here you win the election from 500 votes to 5,000. Okay, so many of the constituencies is like that. So our message will be more appealing to the mainstream guys.
Yes.
And so our 1,000 will turn 5,000 of your own local Canadians.
Yes.
And you are going to be defeated. So don't ignore the undercurrent. We saw that. Mr. Modi, how everything was all in the sky. Ab ki baar 400 par, he's going to get 400 seats. And I, by the way, I support him. I admire him. But you saw they did have the biggest election machinery in the world with money and everything. And the temple which they constructed with almost close to $1 billion of infrastructure and all, they lost their seat. They had no clue. They had no clue that 400, they were talking from 320 to 400, and they were lucky that they got 240.
Right.
So, you want to just sleep. They are looking at only polls. Kamala Harris also was looking at all the polls.
Yeah.
It was neck to neck. Where is it now? Where is it neck to neck?
Yes. She lost all swing states.
But neck to neck. So, undercurrent will become the current. You don't know when. And that will be at your peril.
Yes.
And Hindu uprising for the good of Canada, the Hindus of Canada and even the world will unite to save this world, to save Canada. We believe in Canadian values. We are not talking about India. We are not talking about Hindu. We love India.
Right.
But
right.
we are not talking that we say we are here, we should think about Canada.
Yes. Yes. That should be the spirit. On one hand, all mainstream parties say that we believe in India's sovereignty. But on the other hand, all main 3 political parties in Canada, they are in bed with Khalistanis. They give nominations to those candidates who are openly Khalistanis. So how could then these political parties claim that on one hand they believe in sovereignty in India, and on the other hand they nominate those candidates who do not believe in sovereignty?
Sometimes, and
India.
I'm on a television, but I think sometimes they have a very low IQ. Sovereignty of India, whether they want to protect or not, India, I believe, has millions of army, right?
Oh, yes.
What is the job of theirs? Only one, every inch of land protect.
Right.
They are ready to kill anybody who takes that piece of land. And these guys are sitting and waving flags here. I think if they really are serious, 10,000-20,000 of these Khalistanis should go at least somewhere, enter in Pakistan. I doubt even Pakistan will allow them. And carry some rocket launchers like Taliban's and see what happens. How many body bags will come, where will it go? But they will not go. I'm not saying that I'm wishing that they should do it. This is a dukan. It is a shop.
Yeah.
If Khalistan bogie goes away from here, then many will be unemployed. The funds, and only sad part, very, very sad part is, I know personally highly successful Sikh community members, great people, great Canadians, but I don't know why they are silent. their number, I have a feeling it may be 90% of them are peace-loving, Hindu-loving, India-loving kind of, perhaps it is a more romantic, culturally, I'm not saying as a country. Politically we can be different, but culturally it's different. It's like even people, you were born in Pakistan, and you and I, we can connect when you talk about Bulle Shah.
Yes.
And for me, it gives me goosebumps, because we have heard songs and
good poetry.
Yeah, good poetry of him. No, even Hindi songs, in the movies of
yes.
Bulle Shah Kanda, that famous song.
Yes.
So that is a sad part. And sad part is that somebody should ask them. I think this election people should ask them, so you support Khalistanis, what are you going to do? Are you going to send RCMP there? Or are you going to send Canadian Army? Or Brampton Police is going to, Appeal Police is going to go there to fight for them? Just doing lip service, going to their gurdwaras and my temple and putting some white piece of cloth and all. There's no sincerity in all of that.
Yes. But the issue is, in our recent days, we are seeing sort of tensions between both communities. I mean, it's not actually tension between Hindus and Sikhs, but Khalistanis are happy that they sort of, created an environment. Now it's Hindu-Sikh tension. It's not like that.
For a Hindu,
इसको हम करेंगे?
For a Hindu, we have nothing against Sikhs.
Yes.
Okay, that is very clear. We have the extreme gratefulness to the Sikh, what they have done in the historically, even in the recent past. The top leadership of India in Sikh community, people have been there. So it's nothing to do with Sikhs.
Yes.
We have problem. Canada has become a platform for criminals, for who are using this bogey, and our politicians don't understand. Our civil society has to stand up. So we are going to rise up, not as a hate for Sikh community. You know, the eldest son in the old days, eldest son of a Hindu family will become a Sikh. How many white politicians know that? I know many Hindus. For them, going to Gurudwara is like a typical ritual.
Yes, yes.
They are part of Seva. They grew up like that. So now this whole leftist narrative, the game plan of this global conspiracy is that somehow prove that liberal democratic societies don't work. And my other fear, Tahir Bhai, is I have a big fear. This, what you are talking about, conflict here, I am worried that our Sikh brothers, we have had one huge catastrophic act in India under the watch of Mrs. Gandhi, and subsequently Rajiv Gandhi, that India-loving, peaceful Sikhs were massacred. And we should be ashamed of that forever. And that was the bad politics of Mrs. Gandhi. She could not tolerate the suddenly as Akali Dal came to power in Janata Party time.
Yeah.
And then she propped up Bhindewala. And similar mistake is being done. In Afghanistan, you lived in Russia. They did with Taliban. Yes. They thought they are fighting Russia, which they were. But they didn't realize that the snake in your backyard is not only going to bite your neighbor, it's going to bite you. So in Canada, we are creating that condition that these people will bite the mainstream Canadians. Extremism, any civilized society should not support extremism.
Yes.
So my fear is that whatever is happening here, and we, with a folded hand, we urge our fellow brothers in India and sisters that we should do everything that never ever the same atrocity happens in India on Sikh people, because the global forces would like to create that. And indirectly, these Canadian politicians, by giving voice to Khalistanis, they are endangering the lives and safety in India of Sikhs, in Canada of Hindus.
Yes.
So they should be responsible, they should be ashamed for creating that kind of environment by supporting extremists. These guys are not Sikhs. They were born in Sikh family, but this is a dukan, it's a shop of extremism.
अभी जो मंदिर पे हमला हुआ, अंदर घुस गए, खालिस्तान का फ्लैग लेके खालिस्तानी, और उन्होंने अटैक किया डिवोटीज पे। तो अब जो हमारी हिंदू बरादरी है वो ये सोचती है और कह रही है कि अब ये रेड लाइन क्रॉस हो गई है। इस वक्त इमोशंस बहुत हाई हैं। अब नए इमिग्रेंट्स आ चुके हैं, उसमें यंग लोग भी हैं। मैंने अपनी आंखों से देखा हज़ारों की तादाद में, अब वो बाहर निकल रहे हैं। तो ये जो एक इनसिक्योरिटी की सेंस है और उसका ये अब उस पर एहसास कि अब हमें कैनेडियन रियासत पुलिस प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर सकती, चूँकि उन्होंने देखा कि पुलिस का ही एक सार्जेंट उनके ख़िलाफ़ एक्शन लेने के लिए आया हुआ है। तो अब ये आपको क्या दिख रहा है?
मुझे ये दिख रहा है ताहिर भाई, that this is a game plan to provoke us. I think one good thing I saw, that what Mayor of Toronto did, and what I have read even Patrick Brown of Brampton saying that they will bring a law or a bylaw, and where they will ban protest outside the religious institutes. I think that is the answer. Answer would not be, because in a civilized society that miscreants will show muscle, and we will be provoked sometime in self-defense and sometime as a reaction,
right,
to show the same kind of behavior. And it may sound that I'm being very kind of a pacifist type, but it's not that. We will have to manage that provocation. Our path to peace for Canada is in the electoral battle, in the next elections. We should not allow these snakes who will bite the democratic and liberal democratic society of Canada. We should not allow that. And let India take care of India. And Canada, hopefully there will be sense that when you have Indo-Pacific strategy and you have 25,000 miles of coast, and there are bigger issue of what China is going to do, you cannot have this kind of very unsmart move. Even China understands economy, but these guys don't. Why? They have some votes, but if they value votes, so let's appeal to the Hindu guys. That's the currency, we'll give you and we'll pay you in that currency.
बहुत अच्छी बातें आपने की। आखिर में बात को कंक्लूड करते हुए और ये देखते हुए कि अगर कोई इम्पोर्टेंट बात रह गई है आज की इस टॉक में, तो क्या मैसेज है, क्या कंक्लूजन है आज की बात का?
My message is that I think I wish that all political parties could understand this, but that NDP, because of the leadership of Jagmeet Singh, the English term is incorrigible. Prime Minister Trudeau has gone too much far. I think sometimes why he has this visceral, it looks like there's a visceral hatred for India, and by this against Hindus, but somewhere to me it looks like that he doesn't like Mr. Modi. He doesn't realize here is a very, very powerful guy, not because he's Prime Minister. Look at his life history. He was not a drama teacher. He has gone through the stages. And have you ever imagined if you made Trudeau Prime Minister of India and Modi Prime Minister of Canada, I think Mr. Trudeau will resign in 15 days.
Yeah.
Okay? And what will happen in a messy country like India? Mr. Modi is there. Okay? And so Canada should think, the message should be, think of Canadian interest. Think about the social calm in the country. Okay? Let's all not worry about our native countries. We should love our native countries. We should love our native culture. But the national interest should be of Canada.
Yeah.
And there should be some kind of cleansing of the law enforcement agencies. I hope once our lawmakers will go, we should set up a commission that it has been infiltrated by Khalistanis, it has been infiltrated by jihadis. Otherwise, how come you have a open float in Vancouver and in Toronto showing killing of Mrs. Gandhi, nothing happens. You have a posters where it's a kill Indian High Commissioner and Indian Consul General, no comment. But or you have this encampment everywhere, nothing happens. But you know what will happen, Tahir Bhai? Donald Trump will come in this country also. Just watch. I'm making this prophetic statement that you will see the rise of the right-wing supremacist in this country, and it will be bad. Even these Khalistanis will cry. People like you and I will suffer, and the mainstream Canada will suffer. Because when you allow these kind of things, this is basically, sometimes I wonder, I tweeted that, is he seeding fascism in the country? Because what happens, when the rise of fascist happens, when you say there is a degradation in the country, the society is divided, and we are going down and down, and there's a chaos, you need a strong man. And you don't need the democratic traditions and all that. I hope that doesn't happen. I urge from your platform to Hindu brothers and other minority that we should form a coalition for Canada and elect a Canadian caucus of member of parliaments. Canadian caucus, not Conservative Party caucus, not Liberal Party caucus, not NDP caucus. These 20-25 people who will say these are 3-4 things that we will not tolerate in this country, irrespective of where party politics goes. And we are going to work to help elect those kind of MPs and unelect or defeat these Khalistanis and jihadis.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं, बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बातें की आपने.
थैंक यू.
व्यूज़ बातचीत सुनी आपने आदित्य झा जी की. वो भी कैनेडियन है, मैं भी कैनेडियन हूँ, और हमारे कंसर्न्स कैनेडियन हैं. हम अपनी हिंदू बरादरी से और तमाम कैनेडियन से, पीस लविंग कैनेडियन से यही अर्ज करते हैं कि उन लोगों को वोट दीजिए. इलेक्शन अब कपल मंथ्स में किसी वक्त भी कॉल हो जाएगा. उनको वोट दीजिए जो आप समझते हैं कनाडा के इंटरेस्ट में है. बिकॉज कैनेडियन हिंदूज, मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है, दे आर प्राइमरीली फॉर कनाडा. आई एम फॉर कनाडा, आदित्य झा जी फॉर कनाडा. और हमें अपने देश को खूबसूरत बनाना है, अपनी पॉलिटिक्स से उन एलिमेंट्स को पाक करना है, साफ करना है जो कनाडा के इंटरेस्ट के लिए काम नहीं कर रहे. आज की बातचीत देखने सुनने का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.